Welcome in, welcome in. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully, you all are having a good day. I am myself. We are coming off a 1-0 video yesterday on Tuesday. We cashed the under 9 runs in the Orioles Yankees game that actually moved down to 8.5 a little bit after the video, and it went under that as well. I think there was 6 runs total, and that was with a 2-run home run in the top of the ninth inning. So it was a pretty sweat-free under, I would say. Good read by us. And let's keep it moving. 1-0 for the week since that was the first video of the week. Let's see if we can keep that going today. It's going to be a 2-pick video today. I have 2 bets to give out. If you are interested in my full betting cards every single day, as well as these wonderful tools that I show off on the videos every single day, the live trends, we have the total predictor, money line predictor, spread predictor, all this good stuff here for all sports on betkarma.com. You can sign up at betkarma.com/pricing. And we've got some new tools coming as well. We've got football on the horizon, and these tools will be very, very useful for that as well. Pretty decent slate here for Wednesday. We do have a solid mix of day baseball and night baseball. So I'm going to give one pick out for the day games, and then I'm going to give one pick out for the night games here on the video. So let's start out with the Arizona Diamondbacks and Washington Nationals. If you're watching the video on YouTube, you can see I have my Diamondbacks hat on, and we will be backing an Arizona Diamondback today. It's not going to be the team. We're actually going to go with a prop in this game. We have Brandon Pfaadt going against Patrick Corbin. I did want to bet the Diamondbacks here, and typically my cutoff for a money line is around -150. If it's over -150, I probably just wouldn't play it in baseball, or I would look to, find some other way, whether it be a parlay or even the -1.5, something. Typically, if it's over -150, that's the route I would go. I am fine with the Diamondbacks money line at -162. I kind of wish I would have I put these videos out at the same time every day. This opened at -155. I would have if I would have been able to get this video out then when the line was -155, I probably would play that. Um, but I'm still fine with the -162. It's just a lot of people aren't really comfortable, laying juice like that, the average better. So I try to not give out anything too juicy on these videos. But I do like the Diamondbacks to win this game. I do think you could include them, in a parlay or whatever. But yeah, Patrick Corbin has basically been the worst pitcher in baseball. He had a start skipped recently because he's been so bad. I would assume, honestly, I know the Nationals owe him still a bunch of money. I would not be shocked if they just, release him at some point soon because he's been that bad. And this has been a multiple year trend here, for Patrick Corbin, basically once he hit 30 years old. So he was very good in his early years, age 25, you know, I don't even know. You know what? I don't even know if he was ever really good. Obviously, he played a part in them, um, winning a World Series. But I mean, when you look at the numbers, so his rookie year, 2015, he had a 3.6 ERA with 21% strikeouts, but that was backed by a 4.31 expected ERA. So he's probably a little bit lucky. Next year, 5.35 expected. I mean, his best year ever was 2018, and he had a 3.15 ERA and 31% strikeout rate. He had 2 years where he had above a 25% strikeout rate. So I don't even know if he was ever really good. I mean, he had 2 decent years. Somehow he parlayed that into just a massive contract. And he's on this 3-year trajectory here, actually 4, of just terrible, terrible pitching. 2021, 5.62 expected ERA. 2022, 6.41. Last year, 6.16. This year, 6.86. I don't have the full leaderboard pulled up, but I would have to guess that for a starting pitcher, 686 has to be like the worst number of any pitcher right now this season. Just absolutely terrible. Let me see. Actually, Hold on. I bet I could probably just pull that up. Let's take a look here. I don't. Okay, so from what I can tell here, at least on Savant, from what I have pulled up, and this is a minimum, qualified pitchers. He has the fifth worst. He has the fifth worst expected ERA overall in all of baseball, and that is not like some of those are bullpen guys. So like, yeah, I don't know. He's essentially been the worst starter in baseball. He's absolutely terrible. But for some reason, the Nationals are pitching him today. Whatever. So I do like the Diamondbacks. I'm gonna go with a prop here, and we're gonna go with Ketel Marte over 1.5 total bases at -135 odds on DraftKings. I preface this by saying you must take this on DraftKings because it is astronomically cheaper than on FanDuel. I pulled this up on FanDuel and I could not believe my eyes. Um, Ketel Marte to get you 2 total bases on FanDuel is -165. That's actually insane. So it's 30 cents cheaper on DraftKings, -135. So if you're gonna take this play, take it on DK. Ketel Marte over 1.5 total bases. What do we know about Patrick Corbin other than he's terrible? He is pretty bad, in terms of power allowed and all that to both sides of the plate, but especially to righties. Last year he was a little bit better against lefties, 311 WOBA, 135 ISO. Against righties that jumped to a 367 and 200, right? So significantly worse against righties and lefties. This year he's been flat out terrible, to both sides of the plate, but we still see a 392 WOBA, 242 ISO allowed to righties, just really, really bad numbers as a whole against right-handed hitters. Ketel Marte, if we isolate last season and this season's stats, far and away the best numbers on the Diamondbacks against left-handed pitching, 423 WOBA, 266 ISO, 61% hard hit rate, just really good numbers, across the board. It's a great matchup for him individually. We also know that Patrick Corbin will throw sinkers and sliders. That's going to soak up a large chunk, of his pitch mix. Ketel Marte, 2 years ago in 2022, he hit 354 with a 55% hard hit rate against sinkers. Last year, he hit 365 with a 55% hard hit rate against sinkers. This year, the batting average is a little bit worse, 270, but the hard hit rate is right there, 59% against sinkers. So he is a very, very good sinker ball hitter. And given how good he is against sinkers, I was kind of curious if there was, any sort of, I'm not a BVP guy at all, as you know, if you watch these videos, but I was kind of curious if there was any sort of BVP of him against Patrick Corbin, given how good he is against the sinker. And it's a very small sample size, but we do have 9 at bats, and Ketel Marte is a 5 for 9 with a double and 2 home runs. So it's just a fantastic. It's basically like the best possible matchup I think you could get for Ketel Marte, and that's why I'm comfortable laying a -135 on a total base play here. So Ketel Marte over 1.5 total bases, -135 on DraftKings is going to be your first bet of the day. As for our second play, we're going to go with a late game. We're going to drop down to the Milwaukee Brewers and the Los Angeles Angels. We have Freddie Peralta going against Tyler Anderson, our old friend Tyler Anderson, this guy. We have bet against this guy, and he continues to just walk the tightrope, start in and start out. Tyler Anderson somehow just navigates the impossible. He has a 2.58 ERA backed by a 4.66 expected ERA. He's walking 11% of batters faced. He's walking 11% of batters faced and not getting punished for it at all. He gets base runners on and he gets out of it every single time. I want to see if I can find, I didn't look this up before the video, but I would very be interested to see his strand rate and like what percentage of runners on that he is stranding. I want to see that's a good factor to look at in terms of guys getting lucky. Fangraphs has been so finicky on my computer. It's like I don't want to pull the website up because it just freezes my screen sometimes. I don't know what is going on, but I would like to see the strand rate here for Tyler Anderson. If I had to guess, it's around 90% this year. And if that's the case, I mean, it's just another feather in the cap of just how lucky this guy has been. But we're going back to the well, fading Tyler Anderson. We are going to take the Milwaukee Brewers first 5 innings on the run line. So they have to be winning by 1 after the first 5 innings. It's minus 118 odds on FanDuel. I did not check DraftKings. You might get a minus 110 there. So double check that for me. That's my apologies there. I did not check the DK line for that. Actually, I'll just pull it up. We'll just. I don't want to pull it up on my phone, but I'll just look at my. I'll just look it up real quick here. Sometimes I've noticed early in the day DraftKings has better first 5 lines than FanDuel. I have noticed that. Let's see here. First 5. I don't even see any. I don't see first 5 on DraftKings right now for that game. So we're going to play it at the minus 118 here on FanDuel. So Milwaukee Brewers first 5 run line, minus 118. They need to be winning by a run at the end of the 5th inning. This is a great spot. Tyler Anderson, I'm going to just keep going back to the well and fading him until this overdue regression comes his way. We also get a very good pitcher going for the Brewers. Like Freddie Peralta is one of the better pitchers in the National League. We get him going, and it's a pretty good matchup for him. If we dive into what Freddie Peralta does well, obviously we know he's a high strikeout pitcher. He historically has been very, very good against right-handed hitters. This year, I don't know if it's the small sample size or what. He's actually been slightly better against lefties than righties this year, which is pretty strange because there's been years where, he was not great against lefties and really had to hold his own, on those right-handed heavy lineups. But that's not to say his numbers are bad against righties this year. They're just not as good as they have been, in the past. But it's a good matchup for him. This Angels lineup, I'm going to look at just this season line numbers. 291 WOBA as a team against righties. 140 ISO. Like, they don't have a ton of power. You really just have Logan O'Hoppe. That's like the one guy that I would be scared of in terms of like power. But it's a good matchup here for Freddie Peralta. And then obviously I'm completely fine fading Tyler Anderson again. The moneyline predictor does agree as well, and it likes Milwaukee here. So if you wanted to include Milwaukee full game in a parlay, I think you could do that as well because they're going to have a big edge in terms of that bullpen as well. So 2 picks on the video today. Ketel Marte over 1.5 total bases, minus 135. Milwaukee Brewers first 5 run line, minus 118. Thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. If you made it this far, please like the video on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you know when I post these videos every single day. Good luck with your bets tonight. I'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, to preview tomorrow's best bets. And I'll see everybody tomorrow.